Well, the whole team, BWI and BWL and Grand Van wine merchants, are at Ulysses Casabon for a tasting. One of our favourites because of the preparation they take and the wide variety and range of wines that they have for us to taste. And this always proves to be a very interesting tasting.
Great to talk about 2012, which for me is a very interesting vintage to talk about. But from a consumption point of view, I think it's probably one of the nice exercises that we've been doing in the last few years, because I've qualified the tannins of the vintage itself, the 2012 vintage, as being very tender. Therefore extremely friendly.
Well, I'm tasting through Saint-Emilion at the moment. I'm currently tasting Chateau La Dominique, which I rate more highly than most of the others. They all seem to have good balance, good structure. They possibly lack a bit of fruit compared to some of the other Saint-Julians and Pauillacs and Pomerols. But really, there's good soft fruit. They're all early drinkers, and La Dominique, I think it's got a little bit more fruits than some of the others, and it's one of the standouts so far.
I've got Langarbon from St Julien. It's the first few wines we're just getting into today, so I'm just working through the St Juliens, and it's everything you want really from it. It's not overly packed, but the wine itself has great berry character. It's fresh, it's elegant, it's pretty, and it's got plenty going for it at the moment.
I've got the 2012 D'Armagnac, just been tasting the wines from Pauillac, and this has been the standout wine so far. Nicely made, very elegant, good structure, nice fresh fruit, and I think it's going to be a very nice wine for the next 5 to 10 years to drink.
So every year people ask me, which vintage will you compare this one to? It's very difficult, and I think that each vintage is really unique. It must be considered on its singularity rather than being compared to. So on a very vulgar and basic scenario, I'll compare it with female actresses. So like a 2009 with all those beautiful curves and opulence, I say it's like a Beyonce. And 2010, which is more academic, built like a cathedral, Charlize Theron. And 2011, which was like a more, not obvious, somebody needs to be waken up or warmed up, like a Nicole Kidman probably would be either, a good comparison. And this year, because of this beautiful kind of a slinky, silky, elegant and extremely long style, I thought of a Chinese actress. Fine, bing bing. Look at this one. This is the model of 2012.
Sexy and charming. There is power there, there's concentration. So for us it's quite difficult to find, but we are talking quite a lot about 2001. At the same period, one was like that, really easy. And after a few months, a few years, people realize it's not only charming wines, it's concentrate also, and it's we are really happy.
make a blend in 2012. The pure Merlot, all the batches in Merlot put together, the wine was quite simple, not as complex as expected. So we put a small amount of Cabernet Franc, which came very, very late in the season. We picked them about around the 10th, 11th October. So you have in the glass now, not a wine as strong as it was for 2010 or 9 or 11 for us, is in 1 or 2 ranges lower in concentration, but the wine itself is quite balanced and a lot of breed. You say breed, not speak. C'est équilibré et racé.